All right, we are 24 of 25 on this in regular season and Big Ten championship games, which is like the video if you'd like Michigan to win the game on Saturday. So we're going to switch it up a little bit this year. Switch it up a little bit. It's not just a game. If you want Michigan to go undefeated, like today's video. Now, good thing about YouTube is they're up in their game with the reporting. I know I'll get a list of every single person who watched, and I'll be able to compare it or put in Excel, cross-reference. So if you don't like the video, Michigan loses the game, you are on my hit list, just so you know. So like the video, don't jinx it. Do not jinx it. Like the video, Michigan will then go undefeated. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. My entire bathroom was covered in Manscaped. I shaved my face with their beard trimmer. I shave down below. I use their shampoo, their conditioner, etc., etc. Get your male grooming needs from Manscaped. Get 20% off. Promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping. Promo code GOBLUE. Today's show presented by Manscaped. First question coming in from Sloppy T. Are you a sloppy kind of guy? I guess he is to have that name. What did Donovan Edwards mean by "I'm a slot receiver" in that interview last week? And so, if you guys saw, I put on Twitter, but we tossed this question to the top of this segment of the show, I want to address that. So if you saw last week, Donovan did a interview with, I can't remember who it was, Pro Football Focus or something like that. And they just asked him, and he made a lot of boisterous claims, like he wants to be one of the great running backs in NFL history, Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton, etc. But he also said he could be the best slot wide receiver in college football if he focuses on that part of his game, which he is this year. Edwards is going to be an X factor this year. I think there is a very strong possibility that Donovan Edwards could lead this team in receptions. I don't think it's going to be a huge number. It's not going to get 90 or 100 receptions. 40, 45? Right, that would have led Michigan last year. I think that's possible with Donovan Edwards. He will be on the field with Blake Corum 12 to 15 snaps a game, I believe. At least later in the season when the games are a little more close, first 5-6 games, But Donovan Edwards could be an X factor. He wants to be a guy who gets paid in the NFL, who's not just a running back who just carries 21 times, and then by the time he's going for his second contract at 26 years old, they're like, well, yeah, we're going to cut you just like Dalvin Cook, right? Just got cut, one of the best 5 or 6 running backs in the NFL. Donovan Edwards does not want to be that kind of back. He wants to be able to catch the ball. Michigan is going to use him and Colson Loveland in 2 tight end sets and then 2 running back sets a ton as the technical 1B backups to those positions. I think Donovan Edwards could be poised for a 40-plus catch season, and he's certainly practicing it, and he is pushing Michigan coaches to get him involved as much as possible in the passing game. Mike K says, who do you think Michigan beats to get win number 1,000? Well, I guess it's going to be the second last game of the year, which is Maryland, right? Maryland? Yeah. Yeah, so it's Maryland is the second last game of the year, I think, right? Or is it Indiana? Just take a look at the schedule. Pull up that last 5 games if you can. There you go, Jack. So Maryland, right? Because the Michigan's 11 games right now. Now, someone could say, well, what they should do is lose a game so you can get it at home against Ohio State. Yeah, that'd be nice. And if they did lose a game like, let's say, Penn State or Minnesota, that'd be pretty cool to get that 1,000th win, the first team in college football history to get 1,000 wins. But I'm going to say that they're going to be 11-0 with a second straight year after their 11th game, going to that Ohio State game with undefeated record and going for another undefeated regular season. Thanks for the question, Mike K. Mark Michkowski, longtime viewer, hard hat member as well. Will the Don throw a TD out of the Wildcat? Certainly hope so. I have not heard it being practiced that much so far this year. I've got a lot of intel that Michigan's running 2 tight end sets with a close tight end like A.J. Barner and a wide slot tight end like Colson Loveland for 2 running back sets with 1 guy going out for passes, all that different stuff. Haven't heard much about trick plays with either Jalen Harrell or Donovan Edwards, but he certainly can do it like we saw to Roman Wilson in the 2021 Big Ten championship game. Guys, if you didn't know, I use Manscaped for all of my male grooming needs. I want to make sure you guys have this offer, 20% off and free shipping. The Manscaped lineup of products is second to none. And with the summer here in full swing, I'll take a second to talk about self-care. When it comes to making an impression, proper grooming is essential to looking and feeling your best when you walk in a room. That's why our sponsors, Manscaped, are committed to helping men around the world walk and talk with some swagger, just like Michigan's football team is going to this year. This summer with the best grooming tools on the market. For the sleekest version of yourself, Manscaped has you covered from head to toe, starting with their brand new Beard Hedge Trimmer With one guard and 20 adjustable lengths, this device is the perfect travel companion, fit to take care of your mane wherever you are. 8 million men worldwide trust Manscaped, and we want you to be one of them as well. With this offer, 20% off and free shipping. Thank you so much to Manscaped for supporting the Michigan Football Report for now our third straight year. Support us by supporting Manscaped. Make sure you use that promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, 20% off and free shipping. You don't want to be a caveman, right? You don't want something happening down below the belt and the person in your life being like, whoa, what's going on down there, right? Clean up. Use Manscaped. They've got the stuff that you need in the bathroom, the best male grooming products on the market. Don't neglect your beautiful self. Get right this summer with Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Use promo code GOBLUE. How excited are you guys for the future of Michigan football? Scale of 1 to 10. If it's 2023, I'm like a 10.5, right? I'm over a 10. After that, I don't know. I mean, it maybe depends on Jim Harbaugh's future, right? We've been burned with coaching changes as Michigan fans, right? Rich Rodriguez, Brady Hoke. It felt good for a year and a half, and then Jim Harbaugh started off great, had a big lull in the middle, and then has now even gone better than great these past two seasons and now this one. So I'm going to go like an 8.5 because if Harbaugh leaves the program, you never know what you're going to get, right? Are you going to get a big-time coach like a Jim Harbaugh to come? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Will it be a Sharon Moore, or Mike Hart, or Jesse Minter, or Steve Klinkscale, some assistant with no head coaching experience? Potentially more likely. And when that happens, who knows what the outcome is there. We've seen a lot of programs, right? Oklahoma and Ohio State and LSU go to the playoff with like an interim coach or a promoted assistant that takes them to that next level. But I haven't seen necessarily anything that says that Michigan's going to fall in line. So let me know how you guys are thinking 1 to 10 on the scale of how excited you are for the future of Michigan football. We had a $2 super chat coming in from Blue Wolverine, one of our executive producers of the show. Check out the end screen on today's show for what I mean by that. Thoughts on games only on Peacock? I think it sucks. I think it's stupid. I don't know why Michigan would, the Big Ten would agree to this unless it was, such a big amount of money. I don't know. Some people said, well, Peacock's got a really good streaming service, et cetera, et cetera. It's cheap. It's only like $6 a month. Okay, but what has made football the sport that it's become today in the NFL and college football? In my opinion, the reason football has been so popular is that you can watch almost any team and get a similar experience. Right? You watch baseball, you watch basketball, you may get completely different viewing experiences on whether it's a college or an NBA, a good team, a bad team. Football is football. And the other thing about that is it's always on TV. No one who's not a Michigan football fan is going to go watch this game on Peacock rather than just turning on ESPN or CBS or Fox and watching a game that's readily available for free or part of their regular cable package. So I think it stinks. I think teams that are on these streaming services, Peacock or Amazon or anything else like that, they're going to see a big decrease in their audience and their conversation around the country with regards to that game. I think it stinks. So I hope it's just this one game, and I hope going forward it's not more than one game in any given season. Jay Floyo 11, Ewers and Manning transferring. Who you got? Well, I don't think it'll be either one of them because I think Arch Manning doesn't expect to be the starter this year, although they're letting him compete. And if Quinn Ewers has a good season, he's been trying to get to the NFL and get paid since he was a junior in high school. And if that's the case, he'll start this year. No matter what happens, Arch Manning will be the starter next year. So I don't think either one of them actually transfers. They're both on the roster this year. Now, if Quinn Ewers decides not to go pro after this year, maybe Arch Manning transfers somewhere else, right? Tennessee or Ole Miss or hell, even Alabama. Hell, even Michigan, right? Right? But as of now, I don't think either one of them and how it plays out. Quinn Ewers goes to the NFL after this year. Arch Manning is a starter for the next 2 seasons at least. If you love Michigan football, I got the thing for you. It's the Michigan Football Report. So subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button right below the video. You will get daily videos now for the next 6 months, every single day, plus 1 or 2 live shows every single week. The most Michigan football content in video form anywhere on the internet. If you love Michigan football, subscribe to the channel. You will not regret it. Money back guaranteed. Is Jadyn Davis the next big thing after the 2023 season? To be determined. I don't want him to come in and be tasked with being the starting quarterback as a true freshman in 2024. And it's setting up a recipe for maybe disaster with how many starters Michigan, 16, 17, 18 starters leaving after this season. pairing that with a true freshman quarterback and maybe a first-time defensive coordinator and maybe a new offensive coordinator, hell, maybe a new head coach, I would like to see him and maybe Bryce Underwood battle out in 25 and 26. The best thing for Michigan in 2024 from a quarterback perspective is that J.J. McCarthy decides to stay, right? Maybe he's not projected as a first-round pick. He stays another year. Boom. Michigan is a contender with J.J. McCarthy as quarterback no matter what the rest of the roster looks like. Or someone like Arch Manning, right? Sit in the bench for another year. Decides, hey, I want to be the starting quarterback in Michigan. I can walk right in there because it's just a freshman in Jadyn Davis or a guy like Davis Warren who I don't think is ready to be a championship-level starting quarterback, doesn't have that talent. Nice backup, nice third stringer. After the season, I hope it's not Jadyn Davis, but 25, 26? See how things shake out. Let me know what you guys think about J.J. McCarthy this season, though. Over or under? Give me an over or under. Just comment it or put it in the live chat. 3,000 passing yards. Only 3 quarterbacks, 3, in Michigan football history. John Navarre, Shea Patterson, Jake Rudock. 2003, 2015, 2019 have thrown for 3,000 yards in a season for Michigan at the quarterback position. I think J.J. McCarthy could do it this year, of course. I think he could break their record of like 3,300 yards by Navarre in that 2003 season. And let me know what you guys think. Over or under in the comments. Another question coming in from Mark Machkowski. Are Corum knee reports indicative that he is not fully healed? 98% in August versus predicted 100% in June. I don't know. That's a good question. Michigan's kept his health and Will Johnson's health wildly under wraps. There's been no information that's leaked out. I've been badgering parents of players on the team, staffers, etc. No one has given any information on Blake other than he'll be good to go. Now, good thing for Michigan is he can rest. He doesn't have to play a bunch in those first 4, 5, 6 games. Donovan Edwards can take the full. Michigan could be a bigger of a passing team in those first 3 or 4 games. But you always got to be concerned, right? Blake Corum was hurt in 2021. Blake Corum was hurt in 2022. It's a big-time knee surgery, right? Knee injury that he tried to play on. That's one of those injuries that, I hate to see him come back too early and, go out of a game limping and all of a sudden like, well, he's got to get a minor knee surgery. He's out the next 4 to 6 weeks. So if it comes down to, hey, he needs a little more time, I would just have Michigan just sit him the first 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season so he's ready to go against Penn State, Ohio State, college football playoff, national championship game, going from there. But they've kept it very under wraps for whatever reason. Hell, they did it last year. I mean, he had a terrible knee injury, and he still went out there and suited up against Ohio State. So we'll see how things shake out for Blake Corum. Any words on who the captains are this year? Not yet, but I can speculate with some pretty good insight in who the captains will be on this team. I think almost assuredly Chris Jenkins and Mike Sainristil will be your captains in the defense. I'm guessing on the offensive side of the ball they'll have 2 or 3 captains as well. I see no reason why it's not going to be senior Zach Zinter as one of the captains. And I would expect it to be J.J. McCarthy because he's the quarterback, but you never know. Not always, juniors and underclassmen quarterbacks don't always get the nod. If not him, I could see it be Cornelius Johnson. I could also see have it being Trevor Keegan as well. So I think those 3, Chris Jenkins, Mike Sainristil, and Zach Zinter, are 3 to book. Those are locked in. Whether Michigan's 1 or 2 other ones, and we'll find out here probably in about the next week or so. Usually Michigan does their announcements about 10 or so days, it seems, before the season gets started. Imagine Michigan needs a score to win a game. They're down 4. They need a touchdown. Which one of these guys are you taking to be your quarterback? J.J. McCarthy, who's only done it once, right? Illinois game. Let him down for a field goal to win the game. And then Denard Robinson, who did it like 5 or 6 times, right? Game-winning drives. Indiana, Notre Dame, Indiana again. A couple other games out there. Which one would you take? Need a score to win. J.J. McCarthy or Denard Robinson? Look, I'm just saying J.J. McCarthy because of his ability to throw the ball with his arm, with accuracy, and still got the legs. Not nearly Denard's legs, but still can make a lot of plays with his legs. I'm going J.J. Let me know what you guys think, J.J. or Denard Robinson. Meg was at the 1969 Michigan-Ohio State game. Longtime viewer of the show. Thank you so much for coming back and watching with us today. I would like to know the behind-the-scenes, machinations that led to Harbaugh's non-suspension. So I speculated a little bit in the earlier in the live show. From what I understand since Saturday, these are secondhand conversations. I don't have any true direct knowledge. As you can imagine, Michigan is being super tight-lipped this offseason, this training camp, and I'm not sure why. Even more than they have in the past. But it sounds like Harbaugh through his agent or his lawyer, Tom Mars, or Michigan, and the NCAA, it kind of gone from like a season suspension to 6 games to, okay, maybe 4 games. But then the NCAA is like, well, 4 games, but we want you to admit. And Harbaugh's like, well, I'm not going to admit. And it's like, well, maybe I admit something, but I want it 2 games or 3 games or even 1 game. And the NCAA is like, well, that wasn't the agreement that we had a couple weeks ago. Why you can't go back on that? And Harbaugh's like, well, that's what we're doing. I'm not admitting to it. So it's like a plea agreement in the legal system. Well, 25 years to life. Well, if the jury does that, it's 25 years to life, right? If you admit guilt, plea out, we'll give you 10 to 15 years, parole after 7. And that's what the NCAA think they had with Harbaugh. The Harbaugh kind of said, well, how about not 10 years, not 10 to 15? How about 5 years? How about 2 games? How about 1 game? So he's like, no, 4. No, we're not doing 4. Well, cool. Then we'll take it to trial after this season. I think that's what's going to happen is that Michigan kept trying to get it down. It was going to be a season, it sounded like, for some crazy reason. Then 6 games, then 4 games, which they seem to be agreeing on. Then Michigan kept pushing towards 2 or 1 or even none. And the NCAA is like, no, we're not going to have it. We're going to try and make an example of you for some reason, Jim Harbaugh. Ronald Gibbs, I look for the pass rush to be better, so we do not have to blitz and get a lot of pressure with just a 4-man rush. I think the pass rush is going to be markedly better this season. For all of his great plays last year, Mike Morris is a little bit limited in his ability to get off the ball and get off the quarterback in certain times. So I think this year is going to look a lot more like the 2021 team. You've got an up-and-coming guy in the interior like Mason Graham. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a younger Mozzie Smith 2 seasons ago. 2 guys on the outside, but we got 4 guys on the outside. Hutchinson, Ajabo. How about Derek Moore? Okay. Josiah Stewart, coming over from Coastal Carolina. Jalen Harrell, multiple year starter. Braden McGregor has been kind of like a ball of lightning in his times at Michigan. He looks like, knowing that's his last season, that he's going to grab this starting job by the horns and roll it out. McGregor probably doesn't have as much burst as Moore or Stewart, but with the push that we're getting from the inside from Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, Rayshawn Benny, and Kenneth Grant, those outside pass rushers should have one-on-one opportunities all season long. I think the Michigan pass rush is going to be a nice improvement from this past season. Remind us more about like the 2021 pass rush that was the best in college football for that season. I asked you guys at the beginning of the video to like today's video. Give me a like here on YouTube because I'm saying if you don't, you're jinxing it. So put out the good vibes. Like the video. It costs you nothing. If you like it, Michigan's going to go undefeated. That's just how it is. If you don't, I'm coming for you. Jack, you know what we should do? We got the end screen credit that we'll show here in a second. We should do these guys didn't like the video, they jinxed it, boo them mercifully video if Michigan loses the game and you don't like a video. So give me a like on the video. Let's make sure that we're putting out all the good vibes for the 2023 Michigan football team.